welcome to Termii Elevate 1.0.
I love the insight where Emmanuel spoke about the health area, and how, communication has been able to get people have access, quick access to, to health solutions and things like that.
The part of events that excited me the most was actually during the panel session. I got to hear about hands-on experience. So those details that they gave, actually communication, feedback loops, and a lot of other things that he made mention of, actually updated my understanding as per how well to deal with my new customers.
The things that we do to ensure that we properly communicate with our customers, figuring out who your brand identity is, and I think that's something that Paystack did very early. The second thing is we've invested very heavily in the teams that are primary communicators, right? So this spans from design to user ops to support to marketing. Everyone has to be on the same page.
And one of the things that we are actually working on called the campaign dashboard. Again, now why are we doing this, right? It's because this dashboard is extremely important. So people know us to deal with developers a lot, right? And so it's developers. However, we've realized that Paystack or M-Copper or even Bankly, they are not all about developers on the team. Everybody on that team is not a developer, right? There are other people on that team that also require, that also need to communicate without dealing with the developers, right? So how do they do that? So they need to segment by region, by location, and target customers specifically.
At Termii, delivery is very important for us, and we've also provided visibility in this regard, right? By ensuring that businesses can now see when their messages get delivered. Not only just see, but then we can also communicate system to system that, hey, this customer performed this transaction and the message got delivered. And we do that via what we call webhooks.
It's very interesting when you think about communication. The main idea is when you're passing a message, is the intended audience getting that message? It's not just about getting it, do they even understand it? And do you get to a point of shared understanding?
There are certain communication styles or certain stories that don't necessarily relate to the African experience. One good example would be, it's extreme, but it would be selling Halloween to average person who maybe doesn't watch television, only listens to the radio, so they can't connect with the concept of Halloween. So one thing I would say is borrowing stories directly and not contextualizing them before applying those stories to our context and to our reality and to our situation. I think that's one of the things that I would say doesn't necessarily tell well on the storytelling that we do here sometimes. Yeah.
You may label a lack of communication as a miscommunication,
okay,
right? And it could be very expensive.
When it comes to how we get, I guess, our clients' customers to use their products even more or better, I think the very basic or the beginning is we ask the customers what their problem is. So I think for us that is really the foundation of any model that we build on top of. We spend a lot of time with the customers, understanding and scoping their problems.
You want to be able to ensure that, first off, like you said, deliverability, then you also want to be clear in terms of what you are communicating. So if it's, let's say the person deposited into their account, right? You want to be able to tell the person that, okay, this value has been received, this is the value, this is the time, this is the date. Everything has to be clear and at a glance.
There are some key infrastructures that are necessary to be put in place, even to ensure that communication is effective. If we lack that key infrastructure, if we lack that key tool, then as much as you try to do your job as a business, not reaching your customers, it just amounts to you not satisfying your customers.
we've seen the evolution of communication from the time of, drafting letter, writing letter, and sending it to telephone conversations and all of that. I think I was listening to one of the founders of the big tech companies saying, companies will actually have to get like developers to build like an in-house tool, a communication tool to engage their customers, and that it's capital intensive. And it's not just capital intensive, it is extremely, it's going to take time and all of that. And we've seen it now that with just an API plug and integration, companies can engage with their customers. And we will see that communication is actually very, very important.
So I'm excited that this conference has brought together different sectors from customer service to fintech to health tech, just to let them know the importance of communication. And it's exciting to know that businesses from here henceforth will take communication platforms seriously and know that leveraging this can bring more customers to them, building loyalty and, just scaling their businesses. And we're looking forward to having this, subsequently and making it even bigger and bigger. And we are